So, so the service that we're offering is called SharePay, and what that means is that people in the villages are offering what's called SharePay cards, and this is distributed through the existing distribution vendors from the mobile phone operators, so the village phone operators. They offer into the market SharePay cards, and the SharePay card is a little bit like the old traditional phone card. It's a card with a number on it. The person in the street goes up to the village phone operator and they get free of charge a SharePay card. On the SharePay card is a phone number and a PIN. That number is a fully functioning prepaid phone number. Has all the features of a normal prepaid phone. The user can log in using not only the village phone's phone, but any phone on that network to access their services. So typically what they would do is they'd go up to a user in the street, they enter a code, they enter their number, they enter a PIN code, and then after that what we do is we virtualize a menu system that appears on the phone, and it uses existing technology built into every single GSM mobile phone in the market today. There's no need for any special phones, no need for any special SIMs. Once the user gets the menu on the phone, it pops up, it welcomes the user. Good morning, Betty, your balance is 10 cents. And it gives the user a number of options. They can make a call using their own phone number, they can receive calls. They have a messaging box in here so that you can receive SMSs. So maybe one of the menu items on the phone will say SMSs 2, so they got 2 SMSs that they've missed. They also see notifications of missed calls. So you have a login there of missed calls, calls you've made before, so it keeps a call history. And after the user's finished and doing phone things, they then log off and they hand the phone back to the person that they borrowed it off. And then one of the unique things that we do is once that transaction's happened, is the owner of the phone then will receive a message from the mobile operator thanking them for sharing the phone and giving them some free minutes. So that's how we incentivize the phone usage. There's a number of other features that we build into the phone, particularly because a lot of these users are offline a lot of the time. So one of the features that we have, for example, is a notification feature. What this means is that a particular user can nominate a friend or a family member, or maybe it's the village phone user that they use on the street corner, to actually receive notifications when an event happens, when an important event happens. Maybe that event is that they've missed a call, maybe that event is that they've received an SMS, or even that they've received a mobile money payment. So they nominate someone to receive that message, that notification message. That user then typically would have their phone on most of the time. They can then find that user. So they could then find Betty in the street. Betty, where are you? You've missed a call. I know you're expecting an important call. You're looking for a job at the moment. You know, come, use my phone. Let's see what this missed call is all about. So that's how the system works. One of the other features that we're now working with on the system is that we've started to talk to brands about potentially how we could brand these numbers. Potentially what brands can offer, because brands are very interested about talking to people living at the base of the pyramid. So what we're talking to some of the brands about now is where they could brand a phone card and they could actually sponsor potentially SMSs or calls for these users. So in return for even cheaper calls, the brand gets access to those people. They can promote certain messages about certain brand of products that they've got, and the user obviously gets cheaper calls in return for some, branded SMSs or branded voice jingles that they get on the phone. So that's one of the applications that we're going into. One of the other applications that we're now in discussions with the AIDS HIV clinic is how we can use that system in a slightly different way for the medical world. So there's a particular clinic that we're working with in South Africa, where out of the 10,000 patients that are coming into the AIDS HIV clinic, 4,000 of those patients do not own a phone. Now, the clinic uses the mobile phone number as their recording system. They use it to track all the patients and the history of the patients and when they've come in and when they've not come in. So not only do we enable them a very low-cost method to be able to give those patients a phone number and to be able to track those patients, but then we also offer a method where The hospital can actually contact those patients by sending them private messages, and also the patients themselves can actually ring back to the clinic. So for example, we can actually whitelist the clinic's numbers on the system, thereby those patients who typically would not phone the clinic if they've got a concern or a problem, or if they're just phoning in to say that they're going to miss an appointment, then what we can do is whitelist the number, and they can actually phone the clinic for free, so they can get free information. They can say they're going to miss their appointment, or they can share their concerns about the problem that they've got. So that just gives you some of the applications that we're looking at now.